The Environmental Protection Agency has deleted one of its social media posts, which encouraged the public to reduce their intake of red meat. The post was deleted following objections from the Irish Farmers Association. Tim Cullinan of the IFA, its president, joins us now. Tim, your reaction to this tweet?
Yeah, Shane, absolutely. And farmers actually were horrified when they heard about or read this tweet, and the huge rage among our members. And we contacted the EPA and we asked them to take down the tweet, which they did, which I think that was very important. I thought, look, it's important that everybody has a role. And the EPA have a role, they're a regulator, and it's the government, that governs and decides, and in particular, around climate and around diet. People themselves make their own choice around diet. We don't need an EPA or anybody telling us what we can or can't eat. But my point is, it's the government's role here to govern, and we had a target around climate set last year.
They didn't tell us what we can and can't eat. They suggested what we should and shouldn't eat. And their title is the Environmental Protection Agency. Their remit is to protect the environment. And I mean, you may love meat, I love meat, but we cannot deny that meat and the production of meat has an impact on climate change, and that's the EPA's job to point that out.
Well, Shane, I would disagree with that. And
which bit do you disagree with?
I disagree with that producing meat in a sustainable manner is damaging the environment.
But sure, we know it is a fact. But let's deal with facts, though. Let's deal with facts. 14% of all man-made greenhouse gases come from the production of meat. We can't deny those facts, much as we might love meat and like to ignore them.
Shane, the facts are that we were given the target to reduce our emissions by 25% 1 year ago. To date, and the EPA themselves in a recent report said that farmers can already reduce those emissions by 19%. And with the advances in science, we believe we can reach our target by 2030. And let the EPA look at other sectors and what they're doing.
But they do. I'm sure they do as well.
Yeah, but my point is, we're in one of the most sustainable countries for producing red meat, and we are, as I say, on target with the target we were giving by our government. And you have a Climate Action Council, you have a government, and you're right, the role of the EPA is to police and to regulate. It's not to advocate to people what they can or can't do.
Well, Tim, I have to put it to you that there isn't a climate change expert in the world who wouldn't agree with what the EPA said.
Well, what I'm saying is there's not a farmer. I have met no farmer anywhere that would agree with what the EPA said.
Of course
either.
They wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't. But look, turkeys don't vote for Christmas. Of course they're not going to agree with it. But you're trying to censor the EPA here. They're entitled to their opinion on this. You're absolutely entitled to disagree and to put the counter argument, and that's why obviously we have you on the show. But surely they're entitled to put their viewpoint.
Yeah, but if the EPA weren't correct, then why did it take down the tweet in the first place, which they did?
Because you guys are a powerful body, and you kicked up a fuss, and they, for political reasons, took it down. I'm presuming.
No, but what's more important here is there was two things happened here. We asked them to remove the tweet, which they did, but we also asked that we would meet with them in the coming days or week, because we need to know who authorised some person within the EPA to put up this tweet in the first place. And the EPA have agreed to meet with ourselves next week to discuss that. And look, we have a working relationship with the EPA, we have a working relationship with the government and Climate Action Council, everybody involved in all of this, and we want to continue that going forward. But look, we want everybody within the system continuing to do their role.
This question is going to sound impolite, Tim, and I don't mean it to, but there's no non-blunt way of asking it. How is it the IFA's business who authorised in the EPA, who authorised this tweet?
I think it's very important, because the first thing it did is infuriated farmers right around the country. In particular, the farmers are working hard to reduce their emissions and achieve their targets around climate and produce meat in a sustainable manner, which they're doing. And then when you have somebody coming out and advocating, people should eat less meat. I mean, that is wrong, Shane, and I think we are entitled. We are, at the end of the day, the EPA, like every other organisation, are funded by taxpayers' money, and I think absolutely I or anybody within the association have the right to ask them who was authorised to put this tweet up in the first place.
And would you want action taken against that person?
No, I don't want any action taken against anybody. Look, what we're about is, as I said, we work with everybody, and all we want is to understand how this came about, and we don't want to see it happening again. That's what we're about, Shane.
Okay. Tim Cullinan, Irish Farmers Association President, thank you for talking to Newstalk Breakfast.